Welcome to the world beyond imagination. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And enjoy the journey. My accidental marriage to an alien nurse began with a joke. The last thing I remembered was the screaming of metal, the viewport cracking into a spiderweb of fractures, and the cold embrace of the void. You see, I was a mechanic on the freighter Star-Crossed, a rust bucket that made runs through the disputed Zeta Cygni sector. We were hauling ceramic composites, nothing exciting, until a pirate railgun slug tore through our port side like paper. I woke up here, in this sterile blue-lit medical bay. That smelled of ozone and something sweet, like alien orchids. The air was cool and still, silent except for the soft, persistent hum of machines keeping me alive. I couldn't move my legs. A panic, cold and sharp, started to climb my throat. That's when she approached. Her footsteps were utterly silent on the gleaming floor. She was without a doubt the most terrifying and beautiful creature I had ever seen. Her skin was a deep, resonant blue, like twilight on a methane ocean, and from the elegant, ridged arcs of her head, a soft amber light pulsed in a slow, rhythmic pattern. Her eyes, large and intelligent, glowed with the same warm gold light. She wore form-fitting armor of white and blue, and on her chest, a luminous heart-shaped emblem beat with a gentle inner fire. She placed a cool, three-fingered hand on my brow, and the panic simply melted away, a wave of profound calm washing through me. Human James Kael. Her voice was a melody, translated directly in my mind by the implant I hadn't even realized was there. Your spinal column is fractured at the L3 vertebra. My people's technology is rebuilding the neural pathways. But it is a slow process. You must remain still days. Blurred together, marked only by her visits. Her name was Veyla, a senior medic of the Ixorian hegemony, a species I'd only heard of in diplomatic briefings. They were known for their advanced bioengineering and famously for their intensely literal understanding of bonds and covenants. She was my constant. She adjusted the glowing IVs that dripped liquid light into my veins. She monitored the hovering drones that knitted my bones back together with beams of concentrated sound, and she spoke to me. Her voice always that soft, direct melody in my mind. I learned she was a life-weaver, a calling that combined surgeon, therapist, and spiritual guide. In my loneliness and gratitude, and maybe a bit of human foolishness, started making jokes. It was my only defense against the sheer, overwhelming weirdness of my situation. You know, Veyla, I said one cycle as she calibrated a neural stimulator. Back on Earth, a guy spends this much time with a beautiful nurse. People start to talk. She tilted her head, the light in her cranial ridges flickering with curiosity. Talk? What manner of talk? Oh, you know, I grinned, though it felt weak. They'd say we're an item, that you're my best girl, that... I let out a shaky laugh, the drugs and the isolation making me loose. I guess that makes us practically married. The moment the words left my mouth, the atmosphere in the room changed. The soft hum of the machine seemed to deepen. The ambient blue light in the room brightened by a fraction. Veyla went perfectly still, her glowing eyes wide. The amber light in her head ridges and chest emblem flashed once, intensely, then settled into a rapid, stuttering pulse. She leaned close, so close I could see the intricate patterns within her luminous eyes. Her voice, when it came, wasn't just in my mind this time. It was a whisper that seemed to vibrate in the very air between us, charged and absolute. You are mine now. I laughed, a nervous choking sound. It was a joke, Veyla, just a human joke. We say things like that all the time. It doesn't mean anything. She did not smile. She placed her hand over the heart light on her chest, then pressed it gently against my own human heart. A shock, not of pain, but of pure, warm energy coursed through me. In my culture, a bond spoken, with intent heard and witnessed by the self. is a thread woven into the fabric of being. You have offered a bond of profound union. I have accepted it. The weave has begun. The panic returned tenfold. No. You don't understand. I was just kidding. I didn't mean it. Your intent was companionship, was gratitude, was the seeking of a light in your solitude. She said, her tone leaving no room for argument. The words you chose were married. The bond is therefore one of life partnership. It is a good bond, a strong one. I will care for you, James Kael, until the stars grow cold. What followed was a bizarre duality. I was still a patient, but I was now, irrevocably, her husband. The Ixorian medical staff began treating me with a new reverential deference. My food was different, richer, infused with nutrients, specifically keyed to my biology as scanned by Veyla. My therapy became more aggressive, more personal. She would spend hours not just healing my body, but talking to me, learning about Earth, about my life, sharing fragments of Ixorian poetry that sounded like mathematics set to music. I raged, I pleaded, I tried to explain the concept of a metaphor. She would listen, her head tilted, and then say something that shattered my arguments. And this metaphor, does it not seek to connect two unlike things to reveal a deeper truth? This is what we have done. I am your healer, you are my patient. This is a truth. You are my bonded. I am yours. This is a deeper truth. The crisis came when the pirates found us, my old enemies. Scavenging the wreck of the star-crossed, had followed the Ixorian rescue beacon. Alarms, crimson and piercing, shattered the medical bay's calm. The distant thump of plasma charges hitting the ship's shields vibrated through the deck. An Ixorian guard, his armor scorched, appeared at the doorway. Medic Veyla, we must evacuate you to the life pods. The shields are failing. They are boarding. Veyla looked from the guard to me, strapped to the medical bed, unable to move. My heart hammered against my ribs. Go, I begged her. Just go, it's me they want. They'll think I've seen something. She did not go. The gentle light in her eyes hardened into a fierce burning sun. Her hands, usually so cool and precise, gripped the sides of my bed. They will not have you, she said, and her voice was iron wrapped in velvet. You are mine. She moved with a speed that blurred her form. She input a sequence into my medical console. A final, powerful surge of energy flooded my spine. The weave is complete. You must stand, James, now. And somehow I did. My legs, weak but functional, obeyed. She shoved a medical laser scalpel into my hand. Its blade a humming point of coherent light. It is set to cut. Do not hesitate. The door exploded inward. Two hulking pirates in patched tactical gear filled the doorway, their weapons raised. Veyla did not wait. She moved between them, not as a nurse, but as a whirlwind. Her Ixorian armor wasn't just for show. It enhanced her speed. She disarmed the first with a sharp, precise strike to a nerve cluster. The second fired, a searing bolt of plasma meant for me. Without a thought, I screamed, a raw human sound, and lunged, not with any skill, but with the sheer, desperate force of a man protecting what is his. The laser scalpel burned through the pirate's weapon, and Veyla was there, finishing the movement with a touch to his neck that dropped him unconscious. The silence after the fight was louder than the alarms. I stood there, breathing heavily, the weapon shaking in my hand. Veyla turned to me, the fierce light in her eyes softening back into that familiar warm glow. She saw the blood on my arm where the plasma bolt had grazed me. Her breath caught. A sound of genuine distress. She was at my side in an instant, her cool hands on my face. You are hurt. I'm okay, I panted. You saved me. We saved each other, she corrected softly, her thumb tracing my cheek. This is the bond. This is the weave. It is not a chain, James. It is a cable, stronger for its strands. In that moment, covered in soot and adrenaline, with the stars burning cold and silent outside the breached hull. I finally understood. I looked at her, at this brilliant, literal, formidable alien who had taken my stupid lonely joke and woven it into a truth. She had seen the intent behind my hollow words, the need for connection, and she had answered it with the full weight of her being. The joke was on me, but the punchline was something I never knew I needed. I took her hand, the one that could heal shattered spines and disarm warriors, and I laced my fingers with her 3 graceful ones. The glowing heart light on her chest pulsed in time with my own heartbeat. "So," I said, my voice rough but clear, "husband and wife, huh?" A ripple of light, beautiful and bright, cascaded over her cranial ridges. "Yes," she whispered. The melody in my mind full of a resonance that felt like coming home, until the stars grow cold.